Jose Limon, 1908 to 1972. Limon's lineage. He was born in Mexico, the youngest of 12 children, moved to Los Angeles in 1915 with his family. After graduating from Lincoln High School, he goes to UCLA as an art major. In 1928, he moves to New York City to attend New York School of Design. A year later, in 1929, he's inspired by a dance performance and decides to join the Humphrey Weidman School of Dance for his dance training. In 1930, he begins choreographing his own work after only 1 year of formal training. He starts performing professionally for both Doris Humphrey and Charles Weidman, the owners of the school where he's studying. He's selected as a Bennington Fellow, which is a great honor, to show his own work at a dance festival at Mills College in the Bay Area. He continues to dance on Broadway, and in 1942 he gets married. A year later, he performs in his last Broadway performance for Balanchine called Rosalinda. In 1943, he then is also drafted into the Army. In 1946, he becomes a U.S. citizen and promptly opens the Limon Dance Company, but he asks Doris Humphrey, his old teacher and boss, to be the artistic director of his company. This is the first time a modern dance company in the United States has had a different founder, a different artistic director that is not also the founder. He's considered the father of release-style modern or contemporary movement. His main influence on his technique is Doris Humphrey. He uses her ideas of breath and fall and recovery technique and expands it to include rebounds, suspensions, and a weightedness versus weightlessness. He isolates body parts in order to allow them to speak, and he's very interested in the positioning of the arms and the freedom within the shoulder socket. He feels that the audience shouldn't be aware of where the dancing stops and the music begins. If the choreography is good enough, it shouldn't seem like a separate ingredient. He chooses subject matter that exploits the human condition and the imperfection of being human. He often chooses his inspiration from biblical stories or literature. The Moors Pavane, for which he won Dance Magazine Choreography of the Year award, is his depiction of Shakespeare's Othello. In his later years, Humphrey dies. Limon takes over in 1958 as the artistic director of his own company. He loses his wife to cancer, and then in 1970 he's diagnosed with his own and dies within the next 2 years. This is a picture of his piece called There Is a Time, which is his version of Ecclesiastes, to everything there is a season, which Campbell Hall, the Contemporary Principles and Ensemble Levels, did together a few years ago in the spring concert.